Boy Mag Dog TV coming back with another one. So it looks like Cleveland Browns former head coach Kevin Stefanski just spoke out about Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, and it seems like he has a lot of interesting things to say about both quarterbacks. We're gonna talk about what he said in this video. Shout out to Dan Patrick's show, so let's get to it.
Every other city I go, from Colorado to the Bayou I go. Y'all know the motto, get a info I know. My people know it's Mad Dog TV, let's go. To every other city I go, from Colorado to the
Breaking news, Todd Monken and Shedeur have embraced in Berea, and Monken said, "We tried to draft you in Baltimore," according to the caption.
Did he really?
Yep.
Shep here, sitting
Folks,
in the studio.
You got your quarterback. You got your coach.
And this one broke at the end of the show. It's what I like to call perfect timing.
I never saw Stefanski embrace Shedeur like that.
What if I told you that Kevin Stefanski just dropped a bombshell about Shedeur Sanders that nobody saw coming? The former Browns head coach finally broke his silence, and what he revealed about the 2025 NFL Draft's most controversial quarterback decision will shock you. Stick around because this changes everything we thought we knew about Shedeur's rookie season.
So you want to swap this away, you can, but was it fair to Shedeur and Dillon to be put in a situation like that as rookies?
Yeah, well, first of all, Dan, I would tell you I have zero ill will towards anyone in that building. Dee and Jimmy Haslam treated me unbelievably, treated my family unbelievably. So I have no ill will towards all those type of things. As it relates to decisions like that, it's not fair for me to comment. Those two young players, I love those guys. I loved coaching them. I love their development. As a coach, why we do this is you take a player and you try to get a little bit more out of him and you try to develop him. And I want to get this guy better at that.
What's going on, football fans? The NFL offseason just got a whole lot more interesting. Kevin Stefanski, the man who was just fired by the Cleveland Browns after a disastrous season, sat down with Dan Patrick and opened up about something he's been keeping quiet for months: the truth about Shedeur Sanders and Dillon Gabriel. And trust me, this isn't your typical coach speak interview. Stefanski revealed insights that are making waves across the entire league right now. Let's break down exactly what went down and why this matters for Shedeur's future in the NFL. So here's what happened. Dan Patrick didn't hold back. He asked Stefanski the question everyone's been wondering. Was it fair to throw two rookie quarterbacks into the fire the way Cleveland did? And Stefanski's response? It was calculated, diplomatic, but if you read between the lines, there's so much more going on here. First, Stefanski made it crystal clear he has zero ill will toward the Browns organization. He thanked ownership, gave props to the Haslam family, and kept things professional. Classic coach move, right? But then he said something interesting. He refused to comment on whether the decision to start both rookies was fair, calling it inappropriate for him to judge. That silence speaks volumes. But here's where it gets good. When talking about Shedeur and Dillon, Stefanski's tone completely shifted. He said he loved coaching both guys, loved their development, and was proud of how they improved during their rookie seasons. He emphasized that as a coach, his job is to develop players and make them better. And according to him, both Shedeur and Dillon showed massive growth in specific areas throughout the season. Now, on the surface, this sounds like standard coach talk, but dig deeper. Why would Stefanski go out of his way to praise players from a team that just fired him? Why emphasize their development unless he's trying to send a message? The answer is simple. He's defending his coaching legacy while subtly pointing out that the failure wasn't on him or the players. It was the situation they were put in.
You know, developing young quarterbacks is something that we want to be, want to be at the forefront of. So, again, love those two young guys, and they'll continue to improve.
Absolutely, Shedeur Sanders will continue to improve much better than what he did under Kevin Stefanski, simply because Kevin Stefanski did not want Shedeur Sanders. He wanted Dillon Gabriel. Todd Monken want Shedeur Sanders. For all my former athletes out there, they can tell you guys it's a difference when you have a head coach that really believes in you as opposed to a head coach that doesn't. Me personally,
Let's address the elephant in the room. Everyone knows Stefanski wanted Dillon Gabriel. The rumors were swirling during the entire draft process. Cleveland had the first overall pick, and the consensus was that Stefanski pushed hard for Gabriel because he fit the offensive system better. Meanwhile, ownership and the front office were leaning towards Shedeur Sanders because of his name recognition, marketability, and the Deion Sanders connection. Think about that for a second. You're Kevin Stefanski, an offensive-minded head coach who just watched your franchise make a quarterback decision that you didn't fully support. That's a nightmare scenario. And what happened next proved exactly why coaches need to be aligned with their front office on these massive decisions. The Browns' season was an absolute disaster. They tried to rotate both quarterbacks, neither guy got into a rhythm, the offense was inconsistent, and by the end of the season, the locker room was reportedly divided. Some players preferred Shedeur's arm talent and swagger, others liked pocket presence and football IQ, and Stefanski, he was caught in the middle, trying to develop two first-round quarterbacks simultaneously while the team fell apart around him. This is why Stefanski's comments matter so much. He's essentially saying, look, I did my job. I developed these guys. They both got better, but the situation was impossible. And honestly, he's not wrong. Now we need to talk about Todd Monken, because this is where things get really interesting. Monken just took over as Cleveland's new head coach, and guess what? He's been vocal about wanting Shedeur Sanders since the quarterback's high school days. In fact, during Shedeur's introductory press conference, Monken literally said, "We tried to draft your ass since Baltimore." That's not subtle. That's a head coach telling his quarterback, "You're my guy." And this is the critical difference. Under Stefanski, Shedeur was playing for a coach who didn't choose him. Under Monken, he's playing for someone who's been scouting him for years and believes he's a franchise quarterback. That psychological shift cannot be underestimated. Any athlete will tell you, confidence comes from belief. When your coach believes in you, draws up plays for your strengths, and publicly champions you, you play at a different level. Shedeur had flashes of brilliance during his rookie season, but he was also inconsistent. And how could he not be? He was splitting reps, dealing with a divided coaching staff, and trying to prove himself in an unstable environment. But now, everything changes. Monken is building the entire offense around Shedeur's skill set. He's reportedly already working on implementing RPO concepts, quick-hitting routes, and deep shot opportunities that match Shedeur's arm talent and processing speed. This isn't a square peg round hole situation anymore. This is a coach who identified his quarterback and is tailoring everything to maximize his potential. Let's flash back to Shedeur's college career for a minute. At Colorado under Deion Sanders, this guy was elite. He threw for over 3,500 yards, had a touchdown-to-interception ratio that would make veteran quarterbacks jealous, and consistently showed poise under pressure. Why? Because Prime Time believed in his son, recruited NFL-caliber weapons around him, and created an environment where Shedeur could thrive.
First of all, Dad, I would tell you I have zero ill will towards anyone in that building. Dee and Jimmy Haslam treated me unbelievably, treated my family unbelievably. So I have no ill will towards all those type of things. As it relates to decisions like that, it's not fair for me to comment. Those two young players, I love those guys. I loved coaching them. I love their development. As a coach, why we do this is you take a player and you try to get a little bit more out of him and you try to develop him. And I want to get this guy better at that. And I think both of those guys, you can point to their rookie season.
Then he gets to Cleveland, and everything flips. Suddenly, he's splitting time with another rookie, learning a system designed for a different type of quarterback and dealing with constant speculation about whether he was even the right pick. That's a recipe for struggle, not success. And here's the truth. Shedeur's rookie numbers weren't terrible. They weren't Pro Bowl caliber, but for a guy in that chaotic situation, he showed real promise. The arm talent was obvious. The decision-making improved as the season went on. The leadership qualities started emerging in the second half of the year. All the tools are there. He just needed the right environment to unleash them. So what was Stefanski really saying in this interview? If you strip away the diplomatic language, here's the message. I was given an impossible situation with two talented rookies. I did everything I could to develop them both, and they both improved despite the chaos. But don't blame me or them for how the season went. That's actually pretty fair. Stefanski is a good coach who got dealt a bad hand. He didn't have final say on the quarterback decision. He tried to make it work with a dual quarterback system that rarely succeeds in the NFL, and ultimately paid the price with his job. But here's what's encouraging for Shedeur. Even Stefanski, the coach who reportedly preferred Dillon, praised his development and growth. That means the talent is undeniable, the work ethic is there, the improvement is real. All Shedeur needed was a stable situation with a coach who fully believes in him. And now he has exactly that with Todd Monken. This situation highlights a massive problem in the NFL. Organizational dysfunction destroys young quarterbacks. We've seen it over and over again. Justin Fields in Chicago, Zach Wilson with the Jets, Trey Lance in San Francisco. Talented guys who were put in bad situations and never got a fair shot to develop properly. Shedeur was heading down that same path under the Browns' previous regime, but the coaching change might have saved his career. Instead of being another cautionary tale about wasted potential, now he's in position to become the franchise quarterback Cleveland has been searching for since Bernie Kosar. And the league is watching. If Shedeur thrives under Monken, it validates everything we've been saying about how important coaching fit is for young quarterbacks. It proves that talent alone isn't enough. You need the right system, the right support, and the right belief from the people in charge. So where does Shedeur Sanders go from here? Based on everything we know, year 2 is going to be huge. He's got a coach who believes in him, an off-season to master the playbook, and a front office committed to building around him. The Browns are expected to upgrade the offensive line and add weapons in the draft and free agency. If everything clicks, we're looking at a potential breakout season. I'm talking 4,000-plus passing yards, 25-30 touchdowns, a playoff appearance, and Offensive Rookie of the Year conversations, except it'll be his second year, so more like a Most Improved Player campaign. But even if the team around him struggles, Shedeur's individual development should take a massive leap forward. The consistency will be there, the confidence will be higher, and the NFL world will finally see what Colorado fans already knew. This kid is special. Kevin Stefanski's interview revealed more than he probably intended. It showed us that Shedeur Sanders was never the problem in Cleveland. The situation was. And now that the situation has changed with Todd Monken at the helm, we're about to witness what happens when elite talent meets coaching that actually believes in it. The Browns took a gamble on Shedeur Sanders. Year 1 was rocky, but year 2, that's when championships are born. That's when legends are made. And if you're not paying attention to what's happening in Cleveland right now, you're going to miss one of the most compelling storylines in the entire NFL. If you want to stay updated on everything Shedeur Sanders and the Browns, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on notifications. Drop a comment below with your predictions for Shedeur's second season. Are we looking at a future MVP, or is the hype too much? Let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.